Out of the 114 million active channels on YouTube, only 10 million of them have more than 1,000 subscribers, and only 2 million of them have more than 10,000 subscribers. That is less than 2%. Now today, I'm going to show you the 7 things that almost all successful channels do to get into that top 2%, so that you can grow your small channel as quickly as possible. I'm also going to show you the one thing that caused my subscriber growth and my AdSense revenue to get cut in half, so that you don't make that same mistake. Now, before we get into it, I just want to say, don't even worry about growing your channel until you've got your main channel topic figured out. Just so that you can figure out A, what you actually enjoy talking about most and what you can see yourself talking about for the long term. And number 2, what topics are actually resonating with your viewers? What is it that they want to see? That's going to take a little bit of time. And then when you are ready to grow, you've got 2 main goals. Number 1 is get them to click, and number 2 is get them to keep watching. So making sure that you have a really well-defined channel topic is point number 1. Your channel is going to grow much, much faster if you are generally sticking within one broad topic. And that's because if you're consistently putting out videos that all revolve around the same topic, the YouTube algorithm is going to know and understand what your channel is about, and it's going to push it out to the people that are going to be interested in that topic. Conversely, if you're consistently creating videos around multiple different topics that aren't really related to one another, the YouTube algorithm is going to have no idea what your channel is about, and it's not going to be pushing those videos out to the right people. Also, when new people come to your channel to watch the videos that you're creating, if they can see that you're consistently putting out videos all around a main area of interest for them, they're going to be much more likely to subscribe to your channel. Now, I just want to point out here also, your channel topic is never going to be set in stone. So don't spend much time worrying about picking the wrong channel topic. A lot of channel topics do evolve over time. If you look at Ali Abdaal's channel, I think he's got something like 6 million subscribers at this point. When he first started out his channel, he was doing a lot of random topics. He had videos where he was singing songs on his guitar, and then he kind of honed in a little bit more on helping medical students learn how to study. And then over time, he started putting out more and more productivity videos, and now his channel is largely about productivity. And that was something that happened slowly over time after he tested different niches, and then he found one that really resonated with his audience. Even with my own channel, when I first started out, I was creating content only about low content publishing. It was a very narrow niche, and then over time, I broadened that out a little bit more. But the point here is, in the beginning, when you are actively trying to grow your channel, you really do want to stick to that one area of focus, whatever that niche may be. Tip number 2 is to clearly define your audience. So in business, there's something called an ideal customer avatar. This is something that all successful businesses create, and it's basically just a profile of exactly who they are trying to sell to. It helps them to really understand who this person is, so they can best serve them by coming up with solutions to their exact problems. So this idea is something that you can use with your YouTube channel. You can call this your ideal viewer. Basically, you want to determine who exactly your videos are for, and then make videos just for them. So you can think about their age, their gender, their interests, their values, their goals, their hobbies, all of these things. And then you want to keep all of those things in mind when you're creating content. So some great examples here. There's this channel I love called Hot and Flashy. The topic of the channel is style and beauty tips for women over the age of 50. So in this case, the viewer avatar is style and beauty conscious women over the age of 50. So every time this person creates content for her channel, she is creating videos for that specific person in mind. Another example is another favorite channel of mine called Think Media. Their mission is to help people go full-time on YouTube, and their specific viewer avatar are new YouTube creators who want to go full-time and monetize their channel. When I first started my channel, it was really just about helping people generate passive income publishing low-content books. So my viewer avatar were side hustlers who were looking for a simple to start passive income stream. Also keep in mind, a lot of times your viewer avatar might actually be you. So it's always a good idea when you're thinking about content, if your viewer avatar is you, ask yourself, Would I watch this video? If I saw this video on YouTube, would I click on it? Now, this next tip is one that I did not get right from the beginning. In fact, I wasn't getting it right until probably 2 or even 3 years in, and that is to focus on your packaging. Now, when I say packaging, I am talking about your thumbnail, your title, and your hook, which is that first 30 seconds of your video when you're really trying to grab the viewer's attention. Now, it seems like a lot of people kind of get this backwards, where they come up with their video idea, they write the script, and then they're doing their title last, and then the thumbnail is usually always the very last thing that gets done. But this really is a backward way of thinking about it. Because when you think about the actual steps involved when someone is about to watch a video, what happens is they're scrolling through YouTube, and the first thing they see is your thumbnail. The second thing they see is your title. Then if they decide to hit play, they're watching that first 30 seconds. Then, like 4 steps in, they're getting to the actual meat of your content. So they might not even get to your video if your thumbnail sucks and your title sucks and you don't have a good hook. So those are the 3 things that you really should be putting an outsized amount of your effort towards. So now when I'm coming up with a content idea, the first thing I do is see if I can come up with a compelling title, and I will usually run that title idea through something like TubeBuddy. I'm also going to be starting to experiment with vidIQ in this next week here to see if it can give me something that's SEO optimized. Then I'm thinking about thumbnail ideas. Do I have any ideas that might make a really good looking thumbnail? Then I'll focus on the hook. Is this a video content idea where I can create a compelling enough hook? When I've got all of those 3 things sorted out, then and only then do I actually start fleshing out a bullet point outline for my video. And I spend so much time now refining that hook and getting it just perfect. I'm actually shooting this video now. I'm shooting the main part of it first, and then I'm gonna load up my hook that I've created into my teleprompter. And so what you saw at the beginning of the video, that's actually me reading off a hook from my teleprompter that I created because I wanted to get it just right. You really will be amazed at how much better your videos perform when you get these 3 things right. Number 4 is to consistently engage with your audience. So there's 2 places that you want to do this. Firstly is on your YouTube videos, so make sure that you've got your comments turned on for your videos, and then also in YouTube community. So I would definitely recommend posting inside YouTube community, even if it's just something small, at least like 5 times a week. And when people leave comments, go back in there and respond to the comments. Now on your actual videos, the more comments you're getting, that is going to increase your overall engagement for that video. And then YouTube is going to think, hey, this video is getting lots of engagement. Let's push it out to even more people. So especially in the beginning, when you're not getting like hundreds or even thousands of comments, try and comment back to every single person that leaves you a comment. And to really try and squeeze as many comments as you can out of your video, when someone leaves you a comment and you are commenting back, ask them a question. So you're encouraging them to leave an additional comment, because each one of those replies counts as a comment. So an example of this could be if someone says, hey, great video, you could leave a comment saying, thanks so much for watching. What part did you find the most helpful? The final tip is to do more of what's working. So as I said in the beginning, you're going to be doing a little bit of experimenting, but once something starts to work, double down and do more of it. You also want to be reviewing your analytics on a weekly and on a monthly basis once you start getting a few hundred views on a video, so that it actually starts becoming statistically significant. This is another tip that I totally botched in the beginning. The first time I opened up that analytics tab, I didn't know what the heck I was looking at, and I just quickly closed it, and I probably didn't look at it again for like 2 years. Now, when you go into that analytics tab, it can be extremely overwhelming, especially if you're not a data or numbers person. But there's really only 3 things that you really need to focus on. That's your click-through rate, your average % viewed, and your retention. If you can nail those 3 things, you're going to be in great shape. So for your click-through rate, this is really just the percentage of people who clicked on your video when it was presented to them as an option. And according to YouTube, 50% of all the channels on YouTube have an average click-through rate of between 2% and 10%. Now, a good click-through rate for you is going to be anything that beats your channel average. Now, to improve your click-through rate, this really is about addressing your titles and your thumbnails, making them more compelling, making them more interesting, making sure those thumbnails stand out when they're sitting there beside all of their competitors. I like to take a newly created thumbnail and just actually put it up against the other thumbnails that come up when I search for that video topic idea, so that I can literally see if my thumbnail is going to stand out against all of the competitors. And it really is helpful to use something like a TubeBuddy or a vidIQ so that you can get SEO optimized titles as well. So average percent viewed, that's pretty self-explanatory, but you want to shoot for between 35 and 60% for YouTube to actually push your video out to more people. And to increase your average percent viewed, try and make your videos a little bit more interesting. Add some visual context to things that you're explaining. Try and make your videos a little bit shorter. Review your videos before uploading and trim out any parts that are kind of boring. For retention, you want to shoot for about 50% and then try and just get better over time. And specifically, you want to look at the retention within those first 30 seconds of your video. If the retention in those first 30 seconds is 50% or less, that means half of people are immediately bouncing off your video before they even get past that 30-second mark. Now, if your retention is 70% and above, that means your intros, more importantly your hooks, are really working. So same advice here goes for improving your retention. Make your intros shorter, try and get into the meat of your video much more quickly. Clip out all the boring parts throughout your video. Add visual context to anything that you're explaining just to make things a little bit more interesting. Now, this tip, all about doing more of what works, leads me directly to that one thing that caused me to slash my subscriber growth in half and slash my AdSense revenue in half. If you want to grow your YouTube subscriber count and you want to grow your AdSense revenue, do not make the same mistake. So in 2021, I was gaining just under 2,000 subscribers a month, and the same was true in 2022. Now in 2023, my subscriber count dropped down to 850 a month. Revenue-wise, in 2021, I was making about $1,400 a month on average. 2022, it was $2,200 a month on average, and in 2023, it dropped down to $1,000 a month on average. I'm not including 2024 data in this yet because the year is not over, and also I took 6 months off earlier on in the year, so that's really going to skew my data. Now, the reason this happened, I almost completely stopped talking about low content publishing, which had been the main topic of my channel since 2019. Now, it's perfectly okay to pivot. Some of us just simply get tired of talking about the same thing over and over again. We have new interests, we want to try out new things. But if you can, it's really helpful to let that topic evolve over time based on what your viewers actually want to see from you. I didn't do this. I kind of did a bit of a hard pivot. Now, of course, it's okay to pivot, and your channel topic will likely evolve somewhat over time according to what's working on your channel. But you don't want to do a hard pivot if your main goal for your channel is growth. Now, if you want to find out how you can make 6 figures with your small YouTube channel next year, check out this video next. Now, if you found value in this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so that you can be notified the next time one of these videos comes out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.